Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and in this video I'm going to be talking a little bit about Ret Paladins in 8.3. Gonna have a little bit of fun with it because I'm going to be speculating here on how we might be performing and getting quite a buff through some ancillary things on the side without direct buffs. How we may be getting significantly stronger, and I predict it will be nerfed to qualm that, but maybe they will let us actually compete as one of the top damages in this next 8.3 raid tier. So I have three things that I'm going to hit on and kind of just give my thoughts on. Again, this is just predictions. I've been pretty accurate with predictions, especially about Ret so far in the however long I've been doing this channel, and I'm pretty sure I will be correct on these as well. The first thing that I've been hyped for ever since I saw it for a while now. Not enough to do a video on for just one little thing, but there's a Vision of Perfection buff going in. So that's the neck trait that can proc. If it's your main trait, it can proc your wings, and if it's your side trait, and also if it's your main trait, the second part of it is that it reduces the cooldown of your wings. So it's always going to be your best thing for a secondary. And very rarely is it your best thing for your first, but it can be close for that as well. And with this extra proc rate, I predict that it either will be first or it'll be interchangeable with anything else. With this extra proc rate, more wings for Paladins is a great thing, and then with less cooldown as well. So that could be a very, very good thing. So that's the first one. The second thing I have here is, and this is just in the PTR so far, so again, this is just speculation, but the Azurite pieces for the next raid tier all will have Light's Decree on them as an option. Every piece will have Light's Decree on it, so you could theoretically go Light's Decree plus Expurg, Light's Decree plus whatever. Maybe there's even 3 Light's Decree plus 3 Expurgs for single target, or whatever. So you will have that option. This, of course, syncs up with the Vision of Perfection. More wings, Light's Decree hits while your wings up. So these kind of sync together, and we're kind of seeing a pattern here of some powerfulness that could happen. So always having the option of Light's Decree without having to farm it. Now, you always can have Light's Decree anyways, so it's not a true buff, I suppose, but it's just the idea that it's no matter what piece you get, you're going to have the option for it, and that it syncs well with the other thing. And I'll actually look at this here. The last thing I have, the corruption, the corruption gear. So the corruption gear gives you different affixes. So instead of Titan Forging, your gear can corrupt. I've done videos on the corruption gear because it's probably the most interesting thing in the patch. Now the big one is plus critical strike damage from all sources, or maybe it's plus crit from all sources and then plus critical strike damage, similar to the Nazjatar boots. Right, so this is huge for us. The Nazjatar boots are good for everybody, pretty much, but they were extremely good for Ret Paladins and some other classes and specs as well. But they were extremely, extremely good for Ret Paladins, so we will be able to continue that. Again, that helps us the most during wings. So all three of these things, first of all, we can also increase crit from other sources as well for another corruption trait. So with these three things combined, always having an option of Light's Decree, having more having a better proc rate on your Vision Perfection, and then the corruption gear carrying over basically the Nazjatar stuff. Once you get that critical strike damage, I see quite a substantive buff coming towards us just through those things on the side that aren't directly tied into anything changing with our class really. So I'm very much looking forward to it. What I foresee happening, this is more of a prediction thing, is based on the things we have now, and the proc rate could go down. It could go down for only Paladins, which we've seen with the trinket in Nighthold in Legion. It went down only for Paladins to a ridiculously low level. But what we could see with this is that Divine Purpose, which at the beginning of the X-Pack was really good, could catch back up or even overtake Inquisition as your best talent in the final tier. Of course, I will do a 8.3 Pally DPS video like I normally do on every major patch, and if that's the case, then I will say it there if it ends up being true. But that's my prediction for now, is that Divine Purpose will be a very viable play, especially AoE. It's always good for AoE, but I think it's going to be an extremely viable play with these changes that we see here. Not that these things also don't help Inquisition. It's just about how much it helps each thing individually. So this is my thoughts on this. This is my prediction. So I believe this is a pretty substantive buff with these three things combined. They all synchronize together. They all work together to form a more powerful wings again. So Reddit's kind of complained somewhat that all of our things is just tied to our wings. So this isn't helping that at all if all of this goes through the way it's planned. But it definitely should help us, at least in the short term here. So very much looking forward to see how this plays out. I could be wrong. That's possible. But I think that this will be a buff, and I will be very happy if that ends up being the case. So please subscribe to my channel. That helps me out a lot. And everybody have a good one.